Can y'all hear me now? So y'all can't hear me? Am I too loud? Am I too loud? Okay. How y'all doing? Thank you, Christina. How y'all doing on this Sunday? How was y'all weekend? How's your weekend been? Other than finding out we may be going into another war. Okay, let me see who we got. I apologize for the live the other night, y'all. I just got, whew, I ain't gonna even go back there. That's in the past. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Candy Kisses. Hey, Pammy Pooh. Hey, Christina. Terry. Hey, Miss Ashley. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Alexis and Titi and Deborah. Hey, Yolanda. Kathy B. Spicy Brown. Hi, Lila. And who else we got? Hey, Treasure Life. And hey, Jackie. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I promise. Yeah, y'all know I got sister locks, and I about a month ago I put some plaits on top of them. And y'all know, if anybody know what sister locks are, they're real fine. And so I took them off. I think they had been in long enough before they start coming out. The sister locks start breaking at the root. So I've been doing that since yesterday. I finally got them out. They dyed my hair and got through with it about 1 o'clock today. So my day's been going pretty good. I'll never do that again. No, that was a lot of plaits. Hey, Mikey. Okay, so y'all been aware of what's been going on the weekend, right? About the U.S. trade and Russia's threatening. Russia has its threats, but we're not going to get into all of that because we all know that the U.S. does not need another war, and I'm just going to keep the politics out of this. Just pray for our country. I want to talk about this 3 year, almost 3 year long saga, and it's not even a Brianna and Robert thing anymore. It's the supporters and the content creators. And how long is this mission? How long is it really going to go on, y'all? For real? How long are we going to keep doing back and forth with the content creators? And how long are Brianna supporters going to keep keeping it a mess? And they always want to talk victim, right? They always want to act like they do stuff and act like victims. But we have one big platform on that side where her people, her supporters, are really making victims. Like they actually going into people's family's background and they putting people's family members that has nothing to do with this mess as their thumbnails on their profile. They making elderly people victims that don't know nothing about what's going on. What kind of mentally unstable person would go and get somebody's grandmother, change their name to the grandmother's name, and poke fun of it like that? Who would do that? They wouldn't want nobody putting their grandparents or their parents' pictures on profiles just to make fun and to poke fun at it. It just shows the state of mind these women are in. It could get bad, Yolanda. It shows the state of mind that these women are in. And with all of that going on, with all of that, you have one person at the helm of it that started all this shit. She's wanting peace. She's wanting her name to not be mentioned. But how can you sit back and think you're going to have a peaceful life now until whenever? And you're the root of all this evil. You're the root cause of it. You will never get peace until these everybody else gets peace. You want peace while everybody else going through hell. That sounds like somebody that's, how can I describe this girl without being, that sounds psychotic to me. That's like a person throwing a bomb in the middle of the mall, and then after all the chaos, they don't want to be, they don't want to go to jail. They don't want nothing tied back to them when they're all in it. You protect your brown, protect your peace. I'm sorry, protect your peace, and hey, Serenity speaks. You know, and it's just crazy. I think that a lot of this could have been avoided had she done like Robert told her to do in the beginning. She was apologizing to him behind the scenes and telling him he didn't do all this stuff. He said, well, don't tell me. You destroy my name. You go back out there and tell the people. If she had done that, we would not be here today. They always want to call Robert the narcissist. But her being a narcissist, that is why we right here. Because she will not come forward and just tell the truth that she lied and that she started all of this. All these people's families getting doxxed. What the okay, if they found out who I am and they decide to dox me because I'm the one doing this. Don't go looking for my brother. Don't go put my dead mother, my deceased mother up there. Don't go looking for my brother, my nieces, my uncles. That's that's sick. That's a sick mentality that would do something like that because what is that proving? That you found out who they are? But it shows your mentality when you try to use that as leverage against somebody. That's like blackmail. These people have absolutely nothing to do. Family don't want to be bothered with them. No real life friends. So they log on here and this and that. Exactly. They are very these women do not have, hey, simply Basha, these women do not have their lives. It's like they didn't have real love in their life and they feel bonded through chaos. Can y'all hear me okay? Because my little thing that indicates that y'all can hear me is not moving. Can you all hear me okay? Hey, Late, if y'all can hear me, put a one in the chat. Hey, Dreamy Girl. Hey, Kathy B. Okay. Yeah. It's like they don't get enough love when they were growing up. So now because they found a common ground and that's hating on Robert and that's hating on people over here, they get together and do the most. And they don't realize it's not making them look like the cool, like the cool table. It's not making them look cool. It's just showing their mentality and it's showing that something is simply wrong with it's simply wrong. It's something simply wrong with them. I don't get how grown behind women over 30 how grown behind women over 30 could get together and think it's okay to act like that. I was doing some research on this topic because it amazes me that you find so many women, so many people that act like that and don't see nothing wrong with it. Her chat be so it be full of people and all of them think like her. And it amazed me. It does sound muffled. Does it still sound muffled? Does it still sound muffled? Y'all, does it still sound muffled? Okay. It amazes me that when I first saw this lady come out and start doing her content and the extent of how she does her content, I was surprised that a grown woman thinks like that. But really, what really started amazing me even more was when I saw her channel start to grow on this type of toxicity. I was shocked that you can find that many women with that mindset to support that type of behavior, especially black women, because every black woman I know would look down on that type of behavior. But it only shows their character. They want to sit back, they want to drag us, they want to drag anybody that says anything about this girl, and they want to overlook everything that she does. But they're not dragging the right people. They sitting on here and like yesterday all day long when I was looking at Amber's Live, when I was looking at Facebook, those little memes were coming back to back to back to back to back. What did that prove? What did that prove? It did not prove anything but your state of mind at your big age. And all of that for what? To prove something to somebody that don't even really know you exist and don't care if you exist or not. Excuse me. It's that getting on my nerves that during COVID cough. And I don't have COVID. I had it, but I can't seem to get rid of it. But these people, they have developed what you call unhealthy attachments to this girl. What unhealthy attachments are, they refer to excessive and overly dependent emotional connections to someone or something that can lead to detrimental effects on one's well-being and interpersonal dynamics. These attachments can manifest in various forms, including codependency, where individuals rely heavily on others for self-worth, obsessive behaviors, or may involve possessiveness, what a possessiveness and jealousy. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading like somebody else. Okay. Thank you for taking your piece for the super chat. Happy Sunday. Thank you, Latay, for the super chat. And thank you, TT, for the super chat. And what the part that got me about this, when I was researching, when it says it includes relying heavily on others for self-worth. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know if you all recognize it, but that's what I'm seeing. People are relying on other people's validation. They're relying on the people to be in their comments and uphold what they're doing for validation. They are trying to prove something to these people because they don't feel worthy otherwise. Because if they felt worthy, they would not feel like they had to do things like this in order to get adorned. They they relationship. and they friendship or whatever with the lady that does that, it's unhealthy for them to be in her chat and doing stuff like that, amen in her and egging her on to act like that. Like I was in the bushes in one of her chats one night, and somebody put up on a super sticker, paid a big money for a super sticker, and told her talk about, and it was Amber's baby's daddy. Talk about that. So they egging her on to do stuff like that. They paying her to do stuff like that, and that is very unhealthy because what does that man have to do with whatever Amber has doing going on the internet? What does anybody outside of Amber who has her own panel and Alexis who have her own panel? What does any of that have to do with? What does any of that have to do with what they got going on? Y'all give me 1 second. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, I'm back. Okay, the next part of this is being attached to someone means that you really like them or you feel deeply connected to the person. You may or may not know them personally, but you feel a sense of connection to them. When I stopped my live the other day, it stopped on how this girl came out and emotionally manipulated them, and how she also um, manipulated them through trauma manipulation. And since then, you had a lot of people that could relate to what she was saying, even though she was lying because she never went through that. But a lot of people bonded with her, or felt connected to her because of the things that she was saying that she went through in her marriage. Now, she came back and she walked all of that back, but that did not stop them from attaching to her because they were saying that that's what people that are, you know, that has gone through that, they'll come back and say it didn't happen to protect the person. But we all heard them talking in the background, and she even admitted to him that it never happened. So they bonded with her, and they felt like I guess she was their superhero, they spokesperson. So by them doing that, they developed this attachment to her mentally. They don't know her personally, but that made them feel deeply connected to her because now here's a person that's come out that's a social media influencer, and she went through what we go through all the time. So that made them develop a sense of connection to her, whether it was based on a lie or not. They got somebody to speak for them. They got somebody that's like them, that's put in this position with all these followers. That they treat her like she's a celebrity, but she's not a celebrity. She's just a person that has a lot of followers and supporters. So, with that being said, by them developing that sense of emotional attachment to her, they formed an emotional bond to her because it provided them with a sense of validation and a sense of affection and belonging, reliability, safety, comfort, and protection. So now that they've already bonded with her and feel like this a sister, now they got this protective thing about her. Anybody that says anything about her, they coming for them. And that is anybody that says anything about Brianna, they coming for them. They coming for their family members. And I guess in their little bitty brains, they protecting her by doing this. But no, they're not protecting her. Who in their right mind would wrap up, get case after case after case after case for trying to protect somebody they don't know? You do that for your family member. And they don't remind, it's that people that get attached too easily, that's what they're doing. You feel connected to the person on a deeper level than what's appropriate, consider you've not met them personally, only known them for a short time, or they fall on the box of being a stranger. Excuse me. Celebrity, social media influencers, acquaintance, colleague, boss, or client. Normally, they won't easily get attached to someone who isn't a family member or whom they haven't known for a while. So, normal people, they don't just go around getting attached to social media influencers. They say that attachments for people that they know personally, people that they know that's in their family, not people on the internet that's and standing before them and lying all the time. But they've developed this attachment to this girl and they feel like she's theirs. And can nobody speak on her because she is theirs and they have to protect what's there. And honestly, they can have her back. The truth threw her back to the streets. They can have her back too because they nobody want her like that. Man right here, he said a mouthful. Let me know if y'all can hear it. And that's not. But I think let me know if y'all can hear this.
If most men were being honest, if most of us were being honest, it is the women.
This man said a mouthful.
Because I'm telling you right now, I seen so many dudes' lives get ruined by dealing with the wrong woman. I know dudes personally who sit in a cell because they were dealing with a toxic woman. They couldn't see all the games and the gaslighting. I know dudes right now who lost everything because they was dealing with a toxic woman. Stop listening to what they say. Pay attention to their actions. I don't care what a woman say. Actions. Anytime it's a gaslighting, you leave. That's how you do it.
I'll try to play this again later. But yeah, now they've gotten to the point where they're trying to protect her by all means. And like I was saying, like the truth told her to make that right, but she wouldn't. And she doubled down. Like as long as she thought that they were gonna be together and she was showing up to the hotel in sexy negligees, thinking that they were gonna make it right and they were gonna be together, she was good on it. She came back and walked everything back. But the minute he turned her down and she realized that it was really over, that's when she came out here and all hell broke loose. Broke loose. She came, she came out here and she went to hell and back, trying to prove that this man was no good, trying to prove that this man was the worst of the worst. And she didn't care nothing about how it was making her look. She was just worried about how it made him look, but she didn't realize in her doing that, it really made her look. It didn't make her, that was not a good look for herself. And then now she don't want to, she want everything to turn back to normal and she want to live her life happily ever after with her little new boo and think that everything is just going to go back to the way it was. But you done left the damn destruction out here. And then now you want people to shut up about you. And that's why people not shutting up about her. As long as some people dragging Robert, that's why a lot of people still on her. Because like last night, I heard somebody say, well, I heard somebody tell me last night, just last night, that they was over there talking about he made $16,000 last month. Okay, what if he did? He gets on here and he do a job. It's okay for y'all to make three, five, $10,000, but he's supposed to get on here and do it for free. And then somebody in the comments said we should increase so she can get his child support increase. Everything that man does, like kindergarten, we can tell Bree. Bree should do this. Bree should do that support. That's why Bree is where she is right now. Today, they dumbass because they don't realize that social media money fluctuates. So the judge took it into consideration when they gave the judgment. But y'all can always talk about what he should pay. what he should pay. They should go to the court and get Robert's child support more, make it more. But what about the other two? I don't see nobody talking about, well, they should go to court to get child support on Darnell, or they should go to court and get child support on Deshaun. Everybody's worried about Robert pockets. Ain't saying mom's are worried about the other. She only got one child from Robert. What about the other five children? It don't make no sense. They so worried about what this man does, who he putting his penis in, what he eating for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. They worried about everything except the right thing. I be trying to keep up with these things and get behind every time. Cancer 66, hey Roz. Hey Cancer 66, hey Love, hey Lolita, hey Gloria, hey Miss Bevins, hey M. It is a mental disorder. No matter what proof you present, they will deny it and stand deep in what they believe. They've lost their sense of reality, and there's no reasoning, and that is true. They've lost. Those are a bunch of hurt and scorned women, and hurt people. But I never knew it would be to the, like, they just concentrating on one person. Like the one that's really over there, that's really mentally abusing her, physically abusing her, and I still believe it's going on to this day because when they were in that trip, not the last one they went on, but the one with just him, her, and the twins. When they were eating breakfast, she looked like she had been crying. Then she got up and started walking on the beach by herself. With that being said, whenever she comes to the thing with those to the internet with those swollen eyes, they be done got into it, and we find out later when she get mad at him or break up with him and come live. Then she tell what all of us suspected when we was on our trip. So and so he did this, he did that. We all saw him drinking, and she says he gets like that when he starts drinking. So he was drinking at the table then. Even on this last trip, he had a drink in that little pineapple. So when he gets to drinking, that's when things go on behind the scenes. I've never seen nobody that desperate to be with a man that she'll come on the internet and act like everything is okay just because she don't want to publicly have another failed relationship. But I would not force myself to be in danger to prove nothing to nobody on the internet. Before I do that, I would get off. But she's a narcissist, and they will not. They want to call everybody else narcissist, but she's really a narcissist because she is too vain enough to come out and tell the truth. She's too vain to apologize, and it's not going to change because she's not being held. Her feet not being held to the fire about nothing she does. They overlook it and want to say, but Robert, like this, whoever this lady that was on panel, that came up saying that y'all don't know me. How can y'all talk about me? Or y'all talk all this stuff. Y'all don't know me. We know what we saw. You came into this thing first with a fake pregnancy. You was pregnant from a man that had a pregnancy. I've never seen that happen. They say it can happen, but it's like a 1% chance of it happening. Let's keep it above. But you, in that 1%, you got pregnant from a man that had a vasectomy. Now they questioning it, talking about put your receipts for your vasectomy online. Why would anybody do that? Who's going to do that to prove something to people that they don't know? I know I would. Any man that I know would. To a bunch of people that don't matter. But she comes when that got called out. Now she wants to drop. She want to drop receipts. Why you want to drop the receipts? Number one, you came into it with a motive because when you in a real relationship and it's sincere, you do not take out the cell phone and record stuff. You're doing that for later if it don't work out. you will have receipts. But what you needed receipts for you to come out and do just what you did, try to destroy him. You say you did it because of Miss Season, but Miss Season wasn't bothering you. So how you coming out to show that she was a devil? She wasn't bothering you. You did it just for the purpose that it served to give them something to talk about with Robert because Robert didn't want you. You were a scorned woman and you acted as such. How can you say you loved him to death and you gave his enemies or his foes fuel to go against him? So, no, we don't know you personally, but we can go by your actions. And now you're talking about she just rolling with the punches, rolling with the flow. How? You knew exactly what was going to happen because you know who you gave that to. So that's why people can speak on it. We might, like I said, we might not know you personally, but we know you by your action. The Bible says, judge the tree by its fruit, and the fruit that you produce were toxic fruit. So we can talk about that toxicity. Okay, y'all, give me this 1 second. Tell me if y'all hear this. Y'all.
because they was dealing with a toxic woman. They couldn't see all the games and the
Y'all hear
gaslighting. I
this?
know dudes right now who lost everything because they was dealing with a toxic woman. Because I'm telling you right now, I seen so many dudes' lives get ruined by dealing with the wrong woman. I know dudes personally who sit in a cell because they was dealing with a toxic woman. They couldn't see all the games and the gaslighting. I know dudes right now who lost everything because they was dealing with a toxic woman. Stop listening to what they say. Pay attention to their actions. I don't care what a woman say. Actions. Anytime it's a gaslighting, you leave. That's how you do it. No negotiation, no nothing. Just leave. Because I'm telling you right.
Does that sound familiar? Latruth was dealing with the toxic woman from the beginning, and he realized that in the beginning.
I seen so many dudes' lives get ruined by this.
And because of him dealing with the toxic woman, can y'all hear that? I'm sorry. Were you all able to hear that? I think it's a delay because y'all answer the questions about a minute. Okay. Okay. Hey, Sabby. So what I was saying is the truth was dealing with a toxic woman, and he realized it in the beginning. And it was said that he wanted to divorce her from the jump, but I guess he was in it and he tried to make it work. But he was dealing with a toxic woman, and what did she do the first chance that she did not want him, or he didn't want her rather? She came out and she tried to destroy him. And you would think that she's still in love with him because she's still allowing her people to try to destroy this man. And what is that man doing? He's not doing anything to her. He's trying to live his life. They are not saying nothing about what she got going on over there with hers because they think she's happily ever after. But why is it that everybody that he deals with, everybody that he came into contact with, it was a big deal? When she was over there practically Darnell living in her house, and he was doing skits with somebody, and they made a big deal out of the person he was doing skits with. And they went to calling her, they went to inboxing her. Why? Y'all said she was happy. She had moved on. So what was the purpose of getting in touch with this girl behind the scenes, threatening her? What her name was, Lydia, the yoga instructor? The yoga instructor. What was the purpose of getting in touch with her? Because Latruth, y'all thought Latruth was talking to her, talking about it's their thinking for me, y'all. Their thinking and their mentality is beyond ignorant because this girl was in a whole relationship. This man living in the house with her. showing himself, taking pictures, him grabbing her behind, grabbing her banana, and she, no, mom's a word said, but he took a picture or did a skit where he kissed Miss Season, where he grabbed Miss Season behind. Oh, World War III broke out on this YouTube. He was an adulterer. She was a homeworker. I didn't understand that one. How was she a homeworker of a home that was already wrecked? Leonie did that herself. She came out and she wrecked that home, but he was a homewrecker. She was a homewrecker. She was everything but a child of God, to the point to where they got in this lady's inbox and started threatening her. Why? Y'all said this girl was over there living her best life. She had stepped up from him. So why y'all were trying to destroy what y'all thought he was building? Then Lydia went on out the way. Then here come Miss Season, and they still on her to this day. But ain't nobody saying nothing about Janelle. Ain't nobody saying nothing about him beating her. Ain't nobody saying nothing about him allegedly beating on her kids. And I'm not gonna even say alleged, because when in the text thread that they that was leaked, she said herself, if you did this, if you love me, you wouldn't have spit on me, you wouldn't have choked me, you wouldn't have did this, this, that, and the other. He said it won't happen again. So he didn't deny it. He didn't say, I didn't do that to you. He said it won't happen again. So he took full accountability for what he did to her. And then they still silent mom's a word. I don't get that. But yeah, Robert can't fart without them telling him what he ate last night. They so far up his ass, they can tell him what he ate from what the fart smelled like. And that's sad. If they really wanted him to be able to support his kids, they would stop doing what they did. Maybe her food is the reason this man is suffering and take care. Exactly. They are the main reason. And then the first chance they hear he made money, they want a deep dive. But yet it's like they want this man in jail. He damned if he do, he damned if he don't. Okay, however it got out, or however they assume he made that much money, $16,000. However they assumed it to be that much, y'all should be happy. Now he can take care of Bree and Momo. But y'all not concerned about that. Y'all not concerned about that. Y'all concerned with bringing this man down because y'all want him in jail. And if that's the case, y'all don't really give a damn about Brianna. It's a game to you. Even her life and her support of her child is a game to y'all. Because if y'all was so concerned about him, about her and the baby, and she done told y'all Janelle ain't making no money and she paid for everything. If she's told you all of that and y'all still doing what y'all doing, y'all don't give a damn about her. It's all a game to you. Even her life is a game to y'all. Because if she told y'all this, you all would stop and fall back so that y'all can at least make sure that she have her child support. Since she's staying with y'all now, wouldn't that affect the child support? I'm not sure about that, Serenity. The child support is a court order, and I'm thinking that it's just for Momo. It doesn't. I don't know. I'm not sure if it would affect it or not. Y'all know these ninjas over there crazy and toxic because they say they care about her but encourage her to stay with the dude. Exactly. Exactly. Now they hard up mad and hate Robert Guts because he allegedly did something to their girl. But we know this other ninja did something. They want to go with the part he went to counseling. He came back after that was put out that he went to counseling for what he did. He said he wouldn't talk to nobody. He wouldn't go to no counselor with his problems. They come out here, they show the face, they the spokesman for her. They put stuff out there and it comes back and it's not as they say. But they still keep putting their face and their reputation on the line for her. And then Janelle comes back and make them all look stupid because she said so herself. They was in counseling and he said, no, I'm not. I would never talk to a counselor. So where the changes come in at, if you're not talking to nobody and your problems come when if you're not going to talk to anybody about it, right? And then change comes with change behavior, comes with changing your ways. The only thing that's changed that he's not publicly putting videos of him antagonizing Robert out there. And I think the decree said that he couldn't do that anymore. That's why he's not doing it anymore. But if for the sake of your relationship, change behavior, and you know that you need to be on somebody's couch along with her, um, and you're not doing it, and you when you got her back, you promised you were not going to drink anymore. You promised you were going to do everything to change, but you still drinking, and drinking is the outlet for your toxicity. What's changing? So nothing's changed, but they still egging this relationship on. Why? Because they think he's gonna hit a big. He's gonna hit it big. Is she hanging on because she think he's gonna hit it big? Is that worth her? Or Brianna, is that worth you putting your children's lives and putting your life on the line? Because I say your life on the line because he threatened you with doing something to you and nobody would be able to find you. That was a threat. And we do see what happens when you're in toxic relationships, from the young lady and the young man that ended up unalive last week. So we see what happens in toxic relationships. So I ask again, is it worth it for her supporters? When if something happens to them, then they'll be the main ones talking. She knew she should have left that man, but how can she, when she's trying to seek validation from you all, and you all kissing her ass, nobody's telling her or encouraging her to leave, but the ones that she don't listen to, the ones she want to stop speaking on her. You all up Janelle ass because that's who she pretending things life is so good with. Thank you, Candy. Hey, Mondoos. I'm not. I left the other day because I got a little emotional, but I'm not leaving today. I'm good. Hey, Diane. Hey, Kathy B. Stabby. I'm saying, why would they dislike this man so? This man is a content creator. They don't know if that's his real personality. All they know is that he's a content creator. And people can be anybody and fake any life they want to fake on social media. A lot of them doing it. Some of your favorite creators are faking who they really are just for clicks and clickbait. So anybody can come on here and fake who they are. That don't mean that we know them as a person. So we cannot just say I don't like this person when we don't know this person. They saying they don't like him because when it all boils down to the reason y'all don't like him is because this girl came out here and told that big lie on him. That's why y'all don't like him. That's it. That's all. Because she don't like him, y'all don't like him. If she was to make up with him and she was to try to make things right and co-parent effectively, like she's doing with Deshaun, you all would get off him and y'all would be all in. But because she don't like him, y'all don't like him. That's the bottom line. Y'all like who she like. That little while when she was coming out here talking about Janelle did this and did that, when she was doing that weekly chronicle, you all was all in that man comments threatening him too. All in the comments threatening him. The minute they got back together, all of that ceased. Thank you, Candy Kisses. Hey, Beverly. Thank you again, Candy Kisses. And Dreamy Girl, thank you. Hey, Ronithia. Hey, Peaches. Hey, Mrs. E. Hey, Simply Basha. Thank you, Boo Love. Thank you, Ma Deuce. They're just hateful and want to believe her lies, even though they know that they're lies. Exactly. Another thing I don't get right. Okay, Janelle, when he's around, I don't know if he does it off camera, but for the camera, we all see he's being an all hands dad. I don't know if that's because the cameras are rolling. I'm not sure if that's because well, first time dads normally do be hands on, some of them, but he may be an okay dad. But the one that they giving props to because he get them 2 days out the summer, out of 365 days a year, he might go and go. He rode the motorcycle to see him and this, that, and the other. My thing is, you rode your motorcycle to go see them at her dad's house, and with the allegations that came out against her dad, seemed like you would have a problem with that. But you have a problem with nothing Brianna does ever. And with that being said, if you were such a terrific dad, you would have gotten them while she was out of town, not just you would have drove your car there and told her you were going to get your boys until she got back. But no, you're a half-assed dad that does stuff for the camera and that does stuff to try to prove somebody wrong. But you don't really want to be a full-time dad to 2 more kids or 3 more kids. Just keep it a buck. Because if you did, they would have been there. If you were half the dad that Robert is, you would have something to say about your daughter's hair. Haven't been done since she was with you all last. And that's not talking about her. That's talking about the mother who's had hers done 3 or 4 times since your daughter got hers done. It's places in Atlanta, if that's the route you all want to take with her, it's places in Atlanta that retwist and twist hair. And I know it can't be no more than it costs her to get a full head of braid. So if you don't want people criticizing you or her parenting and how y'all keep the kids' maintenance up, tell her to keep them off camera. Because that's not bullying those kids. It's questionable to you and her as their parents, how they come on this internet and how she put them on this internet. Now, when she was pregnant, she was not sharing the kids anymore. She was going to be private with what she shared. But now that them lights down, now it's got to be a family cartoon or family content show. When we were saying that, talking about what Latruth did with Momo the whole while he had her, now you got to do a video, and on that video you got to show yourself doing stuff with the kids that they were not interested in. It's a difference. Now, if y'all remember when he was taking Momo places, Momo was very into whatever she was doing. She took her kids to a thing, and those kids were sitting on the floor bored. But anyway, because you're trying to do family things and show yourself doing something constructive with your kids, again, I say that they weren't interested in. You had to come on camera to prove a point to us to try to show that Robert is not the only one that spends quality time with the kids or do fun things with the kids. But it backfired because it showed just what we say. You don't care about how you keep their appearance up. And then you come back with the thing talking about when you were young and how you like to dress and they just want to dress in regular clothes. No, ma'am, that ain't going to work. You're trying to save your ass because somebody spotted one of your children out in his pajamas. So you come back and you try to save your ass because they said something about how you had your daughter looking. Because people was coming back, and it was some of the CCs, but it was more of the people in the comments. Now you want to try to act like that's how they want to dress. And I know darn well, as a little girl, I wanted to keep my hair done. My mama kept me in the beauty salon, and when she didn't get me in the beauty salon, she had me with the y'all know the pat and push where you get a perm, you go, and then they roll it up and they comb it back and push it up. That's the only way these old folks knew how to do hair then, the pat and push. And I told my mama I wanted to go. It was this man named Jesse Harris. He had gone to like the classes and learned how to cut. That's when black folks first started getting their hair cut. So I was like, Mom, I want to get my hair cut. I'm tired of this style. And she was like, no, you're not getting your hair cut. And when she came home, my best friend had gotten her hair cut in a bob with the rat tails was out. And when my mama went to work, she worked overnight. When she came home, I done got in the mirror and I done got my thing and I done cut my hair in a bob and had the rat tail. I got a whooping because my mama thought I snuck out the house while she was gone. She said, you ain't cut your own hair. I said, yes, I did. And I had to go, after I got the whooping, I had to literally go in the bathroom and show her where the hair was in the trash where I stood in the mirror and did my own hair. I'm just saying that to say girls are very particular about getting their hair done, especially when they starting to get her that little girl's age. And for her to have that girl around here had not done a touch up or done anything to that child's hair since it got twisted 2 months ago, that's a reflection on her as a parent, since um especially since she's kept hers up and gotten it braided 2 or 3 times, but don't want anybody to say anything. Don't want anybody to, if we say anything, we bullying her kids. No, baby, we're not bullying the kids because they can't drive themselves and they can't go shopping for themselves. They probably don't know how to iron themselves. That's a reflection of you that wanted 6 kids and couldn't handle the 4 you already had. But I bet you those twins be on point. If they would ever show them, I bet you they'd be on point. I bet money they be on point. I bet they not around here looking raggedy. Know why? Because they dad is not gonna let them. He likes to call himself be trying to be fly. I don't know what kind of fly he try to be, but he try to be. Try to keep his little, I don't know what kind of shoes them be, but he be trying to dress. And then thank you again for the super sticker candy kisses. But he be trying, bless his heart. And I bet you that he makes sure that his kids up to par, even if it is with what the supporters bought them. I bet you if they throw up on themselves, she changing them clothes. I bet if they poop, she's changing them right away. The other, I'm glad to have that Momo has a father that's concerned about her appearance. And we know that he's concerned about how the children look as well as himself because we saw it when they were together. You never saw them kids' hair not done. Excuse me. You never saw them children hair not done. You never saw those kids with clothes on that were not presentable. And you never had to hear of nobody talking about you bullying my kids when they were together because there was nothing never there to talk about because Robert made sure that when that camera was on them, they were up to par. Now he has done a few videos with Momo and had them on there like Momo came there. But before everything was over, he went shopping for Momo and he took Momo to have her hair done. Nothing changed. It's not doing that to make her look bad. He doing that because that's what he was accustomed to doing. When they was together, that's what he did. He made sure the kids were just as presentable as they were for the camera. But she does not care. All she cares about is herself, them twins, and Ja, and how they look for the camera. Hey, it's Cara, baby. Hey, Patricia. It looks like she's wearing her brother's clothes. Pay attention. That creep is around. Yep. Yep. I am like I was saying, these people should be the ones that's saying something about that, even if they have to go in her inbox, because I know that they will not publicly say anything for us to grab a hold on. They won't say it, and then when they some of them do get the nerves to say it, they block. Like somebody said that she was blocking people in her comments because they said that she was a single mother. Well, you're not married. You are a single mother. You might have Janelle there part time, but you're still a single mother. If you were damn single when you say you felt like you was a single mother with you when you were with Latruth and you were married, I know damn well you feel like you're a single mother now with the ninja that's barely there and you're doing everything on your own. Don't try to get mad because people calling out the obvious. You look stupid because you left a marriage based on lies because of your toxicity. You were put out from a marriage where the man didn't want you anymore. And you went from being a wife to a baby mama. Janelle has no ties to you other than the kids, and he can up and leave at any time. And he knows what he's going through you. And I do believe that when that day comes and he decides to leave, he's gonna fight you for them kids because he knows too much. He knows too much. And you know this. So better to try to make it work than to have two baby daddies fighting for the kids because we already know that one of them don't care. Hey, it's Cara, baby. Thank you for the support. Southern girl, it like she's wearing her brother's clothes. Pay attention. Oh, I already read that. Most mothers that have daughters would not put locks in their unless that was something they had as well. It is laziness. And I don't get it because ain't no way. I don't know how old that baby is, but I know she's not old enough. I know they don't have a say in what their parents do to their hair. But with her being that age, and she's gonna be coming into her teenage years soon. She's gonna be around her classmates with the different hairstyles, and she's probably gonna want to change some of these hairstyles. She might want braids this day. She might be where she wants try different things with her hair, and by her letting that baby's hair lock up, and then the only way to get rid of them is to cut your hair down that was just not a smart decision for a child that young to put her in that position. I would never lock my daughter's hair. With a boy, it's different because boys get haircut. So when they get ready to get rid of their locks, they just cut their hair, get it taped up, get it tapered down, and go. But with the girl, ain't no girl gonna want to go from having pretty hair like she had to if I decide I don't want these locks when I get older, I got to get my hair cut down like a boy. She's just not thinking about what position she's putting that child in. It's just to make it easier for her because she got those two babies. Hey, Snooky. She does contradict herself all the time. Right, she's been pushing that hard. She's been pushing that hard about business. Yeah, she was pushing it hard. Talking about even when she was a single mom, even when she was married. Well, now she really is one, and then get mad because somebody call it out. People calling out what they see. You see how she kept laughing while she was practicing the role? You can see he got irritated because he was serious and nothing was funny. He grabbed his son and walked out. She is very childish. I heard somebody say that they got scared for her, but I didn't. I think I was in Open Books Live this morning, and she was talking about that and said that how he was looking, he was dead serious. They were supposed to be running lines for him, and she couldn't even take that serious. Why put the camera on? Why put the camera on when y'all running lines? Trying to make it seem like y'all just this perfect couple? And him as a dad, he doing exactly what he said he was gonna do while she was pregnant. She said that she was going to. He said that if it's a boy, it's gonna be mine. If it's a girl, you deal with the girl. We never hardly see him with that little girl one on one. We'll see them like when they was in the pool. He had both of them, but we never see them one on one with the little girl. He always has the little boy. And then she always has the little boy. It's like she's attaching to what he feels close to. He loves the little boy, so I'm gonna show the little boy a little more love. And that's crazy. Once they get older and can acknowledge that, they're gonna make the little girl feel left out because all both of them showing attention to what? All both of them showing attention to the little boy. That little girl is not Lauren's little girl. Those kids are wearing what they have. They don't have nothing. She makes sure that she sure does, Miss Linda. She makes sure that she and the rest of them are nice. And then Robert makes sure Momo's. I don't know if he sends those clothes home with her, but he's forever buying that little girl. He's forever doing extra for her. But the other three is just left out. What does their dad do? Why you want to come on here and talk about Robert and talking about when I was a child, I thought as a child, man, you still a child. Because a man would take care of his responsibilities and wouldn't have to be made to do it. So you still, while you're throwing shots at Robert, Robert more man than you'll ever be, and he's shown it over and over and over. Because you can quote some scriptures, but by you chastising or call yourself chastising this grown man, it means you're not living those scriptures because you're not looking at nothing that this woman does, but you keep wanting to antagonize and tell this grown man what to do. You put up a post, somebody told me that it was a subliminal post to her, but he put up a post of a lady half dressed and a lady that was fully adorned. And the post was saying, woman of God covers herself. And the other lady was, I forgot how he put it, but he was saying that she was worldly. And I'm like, how in the world he could find everybody else to talk about, and his baby mama is forever showing her skin, but he won't say nothing to her. And somebody said, well, I think that it's because he's subliminally talking to her. No, don't use subliminals. You calling Robert and tagging Robert when you talk about him. So if you're talking about her, tag her and talk about her and let her know the ways of the Bible. Don't be a hypocrite with it. If you were a real Christian, you're not just gonna call out one, you're gonna call out both. So by you not doing that, you cannot say that you are a man of God, because men of God don't sugarcoat for one and then call out the other. Thank you, Dreamy Girl. Y'all hit the like button. Yep. But as I was saying, we have to say things like this because that side won't say it. That side won't call a spade a spade. They want to come and they want to continuously talk about everything Robert's doing. They want to continuously talk about everybody he's messing with. They want to drag the people that they think he's messing with. And it's none of their business. Just like they tell us what's going on between Brianna and Janelle's not our business. Well, make it make sense and let us know how what Robert's doing is y'all business. If y'all stop, we'll stop. I'm just saying. And why is it that anybody that speak out on her and tell the truth, y'all want to dig up addresses? Y'all want to dig up addresses. Y'all want to come out. Oh, y'all want to dig up addresses. Y'all want to come out. Y'all want to dig up family members. All because we tell the truth. Maybe if y'all practice telling the truth and not build y'all platform on lies, y'all will feel better and won't feel the need to keep doing all of that. Focus on your girl. If y'all focus on y'all girl, we can put out content about our boy. But we can't put out content talking about what he's doing because we coming back trying to show y'all girl ain't perfect. While y'all trying to pick him apart, y'all need to be concentrating on who y'all support and not who y'all don't support. It don't make no sense. Hey, just Jules, you not, baby. Hey, Auntie Pimo, I'm still at the beach. I'll be back tomorrow. Like button, smash. Love. I appreciate that, sis. Everybody speaking to you, Auntie Pimo. Yeah, but I would not be out here. A lot of y'all been following me since the beginning. You all have never seen me disrespect another content creator. Y'all have never seen me hit below the belt. I'll never do that because that's not my character. But when you see people that's so comfortable doing that, like them people are, they are comfortable in doing stuff like that. That's who they are. If you do it like some people will come out and they defend themselves and they get it over with and they move on because they're not used to chaos. But when you see people constantly and constantly and constantly creating chaos, when you see them constantly picking and bullying people, that is their character. That's who they are in real life. This girl and her supporters are one and the same. That's why they mesh. That's why she sees nothing wrong with what they're doing, because they are the same type people. They cut from the same cloth. She approves of the, like, you see some stuff and you say, I approve of this message. She approves of the message that they portray. She would never come forward and say, she would like throw the little thing out there, I want y'all to stop. I don't want y'all to do this. I don't want y'all to do that. But they not gonna do it because they know she don't mean it. She's just doing it for public view. But if you really want people to stop doing something, you don't feed them shit, don't shit behind the scenes and talk about. Robert don't feed us nothing. We go by strictly what we see and we talk about it. But the stuff that they put out, the stuff that they continuously putting out and talking about, that had to come from somewhere. Especially personal business, especially stuff about court. Like that girl tried to get on my platform, not the one before the last one I did, and she was what was her name? Courtney. The one Tabby ran off. She was talking about how do we know that Brianna gave that lady that stuff? Well, let me tell you something. You had to look at the date. The paperwork was done like a day or two before. And the same day that they read the paperwork about going back to court, the stuff from the parenting app was given also. So you have to assume, and it don't take a brilliant mind to know that if she got the information from the parenting app from Brianna, then she got she got the paperwork from court from Brianna. Robert serving her for full custody. She got all of that from Brianna because it was dated one day and it was received like it was 2 days when she came forward with it. It was 2 days later. And then the parenting app stuff dropped the same day. So she gave her all this information to break down and lie. So how can they be so dumb not to see that she's giving them information? Talking about how can we assume? We can assume because number one, yes, it is public knowledge, but who would have known to go look for that at that time? It had just been done 2 days prior. And number two, how did she get the parenting app information to go along with it? So that's not public knowledge. So try that bullshit and y'all little excuses with somebody else, because people with common sense, we see the play and it ain't getting over on us. Just like it's not getting over on people with common sense, it ain't gonna get over on that judge when Robert be able to drop, okay, she's sharing stuff from the parenting app with this lady, and this lady's going live about stuff that she had no access to. So she had to have given it to her. I know I didn't give it to her. So they can stop with that. She is the dumbest person she's the dumbest social media influencer. And she's not an influencer, but she is one of the dumbest people I've seen that got a platform on the internet. Want to be smart, but don't know how to be smart. You don't know that your actions and stuff that you do while you got an open court hearing coming up is digging a hole deeper for you. You might do stuff and take it off the internet, but baby, the internet is undefeated. All because you're trying to impress and be validated by these people that don't mean you no good. Yes, look at how many guys she was hunting after they separated. Her sister told her when one was leaving, another was coming in. He has a bachelor, and they just got out of a marriage. Why does he have to settle down so soon? Exactly. Exactly. Hey, Truth Slayer. Hey, Brenda. Hey, Snooky. And also, he don't have an already made family looking for a partner to fill a man too. Now she got newborn, 6 kids. She definitely stay in a toxic situation because she the type gotta have. Exactly. She's scared to be by herself. She's very afraid to be alone. And for that reason, she will stay there and ride that toxic relationship till the wheels fall off and try to get try to get content on the good days to try to fool somebody that everything's okay. Now y'all notice now, since everything has been on the good with her and Janelle, everything's been good allegedly, and none of the stuff about the Bible, none of these scriptures, none of this stuff about her jumping around playing gospel music, ain't none of that been on her page. Now she may do it now that if she watched this live, she may go and put some up there. But whenever they're doing bad, it's always about God. It's always this, and whenever they're doing bad, good, you never see all this stuff. You may see a little scripture here and there, but not all down her timeline. If you go look at her timeline, whenever her and Janelle bad, she flooded. She flooded with Bible scripture. She's flooded with Christian stuff. But when they doing good, she don't. She put God to the side. She scared of Booger Boy because he jumped her every time. She went toward. He went toward her. He got the baby and left out the room. The embarrassment don't stop on the internet. It does not. It does not. I don't get it. What is it about this boy? No, the fact is, mm, boots on the ground said, um, I'm sorry, my mind froze right there. But yeah, the harassment and the bullying that she goes through in her everyday life, I can imagine. Ah, I can imagine what those babies go through and what they hear. And she wanted to say it was a toxic environment when she was with Robert. I can imagine everything they hear now. Who knows why those boys are not there? Because let me tell you something about boys. Boys are very protective of mama. Hmm. They not fixing to let nobody do nothing to hurt mama. Those boys are getting bigger, and it may have been to cut off a situation that could have been. Who knows? You never know with her because I'm not in the house, but and I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But I just don't believe that that little boy is just that bad to where she can't do nothing with him. Behavioral problem. That's the excuse, so people wouldn't say nothing about you separating your family. That may be why she's using that app. But I think that's the corniest thing I've seen a grown adult 34-year-old woman do. Revert back to cartoons. And then ain't got no sense of creativeness. Like what's the girl name? Ashley Chat said, you using a name that has been taken and that has been, is it patented? Trademark. A trademark name from a Disney company. You already got one lawsuit, copyright infringement. Now you want to get another lawsuit by trying to use the Proud Family as a hashtag to get viewers on your video. How can you not? You could have called your cartoon New Beginnings instead of the Proud Family. I don't know. This girl is not too bright. That doggone master's degree just. Mm. Hey, Floria. Hey, discussion board. Exactly. Boys will protect the mama, even if it's against the biological daddy. Them boys gonna step up and they gonna protect mama. I can believe that, but I don't see how though, because when she is on camera, she's paying all the attention to the babies. I know I know babies gets more attention when they're little, but you cannot forget your other children. I heard that they don't get along. Let's see, the mother and I, they mother and I don't. boy. She, her mother and style. mm, She acts more like a friend. It's okay to be friends with your parents, but you got to have a stern discipline in hand. You cannot be laughing when you disciplining your child. And I saw her getting on one of them, and she was doing that little laugh that she does to get under my skin. But you doing all of that. But why? If you're gonna discipline them, be serious. Can you be serious? Can you be a serious mother? Can you? She got paid yesterday. He was allowing her to post them. He'll be missing again next week. She'll be using God again very soon. Exactly. Miss Love up in the click on your. She just want a penis laying around so she can do the fruit roll up trick. That's why she don't want the penis. Miss Linda, evidently that fruit roll up trick is not working because she he ain't staying at them DMs. So that fruit roll up trip, she got to come up with another one because that one she got to come up with another one because that one ain't working. He done got bored with that because he and other women inboxes trying to get them to do new tricks. All that gyrating, ain't rolling, all that she be doing, all that pulling the pants up in her coochie. That ain't working. He tired of seeing that. She gotta come up with some new stuff. Maybe acting like a lady that will surprise him and make him actually be interested. It seems the boys challenge goes along. I can believe that she does. The mama, I think Lala just easy going and is one of those type that when she's older she might say something, but as long as she's young, she's not gonna say anything because that's mama. She's stuck in her teen years and she start having kids and still being a big kid. Exactly. Exactly. She is we can tell by like what grown woman, like I said, it keeps going back, reverting back to that cartoon. What grown woman wants to make her content a cartoon? And then the I could see if her audience was kids, but you're talking about grown people. Girl, them folks gonna get tired of that real quick because grown people don't watch cartoons. I don't care if it is you. Them people gonna get bored with that because it's no skits. It's just you sharing y'all everyday life in cartoon. And ain't nobody gonna watch that. Your life was boring in real life, and it's gonna be extra boring watching the cartoon. And she thinks she's doing something new. Is not new. Most people will do that little filter and move on. They don't make it part of their everyday social media life. That's so old and corny. I believe so. Hey, love.
Hey, happy Sunday.
You too. You too.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Excuse me. I
Girl.
just girl, I
Hmm?
was listen, I just came up because he was talking, I was thinking like it takes me back to where like when Bree was saying that um what didn't the truth he asked her, I think on a recording on a phone call,
Hmm.
he was like, what didn't I listen to you about or whatever? Because she was like, I be trying to talk to you and you not emotionally available and stuff. And
Your mic went out. As a hating women, I don't hate her, but why do you all feel like you all can tell Robert what to do? Why y'all feel like he's supposed to live his life according to how you all feel? So don't come on my platform and come in my comments trying to tell people what to say, what to do when y'all don't have that same energy when it comes to the people that are hating on Robert and talking about Robert
would
and
require you to
his
be on
everyday
the
life.
internet like that, right?
Hmm? Yeah.
And so you haven't, so you said you only were on here because he basically made you do it. We wouldn't let you stop doing it. But now that he's long gone, we can't pay you to get off of here.
Exactly.
So, this is what life looks like when you, like she say, I'm a public figure. Well, any job,
Your microphone cut out, Truth Slayer. Truth Slayer. Truth Slayer, your mic went out. It be them people like that for me. They always want to come over here and try to tell us what to talk about with Bree. And if they listen to the whole thing, ain't nobody over there telling them people, yeah, won't y'all leave Robert alone and stay out their business and let them heal. They don't have that kind of energy when it comes to this. They want to come over here and tell us what to talk about. And that's crazy as hell to me. I'm gonna drop it again, Truth Slayer. That just is mind boggling to me. How these women, just because she's a woman, we have to take her side. No, when she's wrong, she's wrong.
I don't know what happened. You couldn't hear me?
We couldn't hear.
Lord, I'm running my little jaws.
No, we didn't hear.
Oh my goodness.
A woman named Hating Women's out of here. I don't even know how to properly write. It is not Hating Women's. Women is plural as in itself.
This the thing, hating women's. Jesus. We're not telling her how to live her life. We're discussing how she does, in fact, live her life based on what we can see on this internet. We're not caught. No, I've never called her. I've never sent her a DM. I never sent her a letter in the mail to try to give her any instructions about how she should live her life. We can discuss amongst ourselves. This is like a live book club, if you will.
Exactly.
We can discuss what she's putting out there. And if she don't want to discuss this, she shouldn't put out there, period, in the story. And if you are not comprehending that at this point in life or in this game, I feel sorry for you because it really is just that simple.
It's that simple. I don't get these women. I don't get them. They come in and jump in on the tail end and then want to tell us what to say, what to do, leave her alone. Well, y'all leave Robert alone. Go tell them, don't use that energy because we're not disparaging her. We're just speaking on what she does. Now, they really drag him and they disparaging him, but nobody will go over there and tell them people, y'all shouldn't do him like that. That's Bree's baby's father. Ain't nobody stepping up like that, being a real woman with those words out of their mouth. They amen in that over there.
And it's like, Bree, she will definitely talk about how, they only got this many subscribers or this many followers, or they don't have this, they don't have that. As far as the numbers, then that's even more reason why it should be inconsequential to you what we talk about. If we so insignificant and desperate and broke and all this other stuff, what we saying should not matter to you at all.
Exactly.
At all.
Exactly.
That's why I really think that she must have lived a life where she have always been in this position where she was not well liked, where she was not a good friend, didn't have maybe people tried to be a good friend to her, but she sabotaged every relationship. It's not just her romantic relationships, it's her friendships, it's her family relationships. It's her professional relationships.
Exactly.
You sabotage I don't know what planet that she came from that she feel like everything has to be in her favor at all times. And if it's not, I'm going to have vengeance, or I'm going to disparage whoever or whatever situation where I didn't get my way. That is something she should have learned a long time ago. when she had her first child, maybe her second, because she was young, you should have well figured out all of that, you know. And like I've said, I know people say, well, don't talk about nobody kids. I'm going to say what I say. Those kids are lacking in development, in my opinion. And my opinions are separate from my 2 cents opinions. This is her platform. I'm Truth Slayer, and that's just my opinion. I think they're very much lacking in development, which does not make a future very promising. It just doesn't. I mean, we ain't heard nothing about what nobody want to be when they grow up. You know, somebody going to piano lessons, somebody got soccer practice, anybody got, what are they going to do when they become of age? Lie and scheme on the internet as the example that they've been given? You going to teach them how to do what you do? I hope not.
Exactly. I pray not.
Yeah, absolutely. I pray not.
And she has some of the most, those are some beautiful kids. The ones that we've seen. They're
Mm-hmm.
and like they deserve more from a mother.
Absolutely. And especially from a mother who say that she got all of this money. You know, that means that if they don't know what they're interested in doing or who they want to be when they grow up, it's your job as their parent to help them figure it out.
It is.
I mean, come on now. You don't want to do that because that sounds like work to her.
No conversations at all about what you all, like you say, what do y'all want to be when you grow up, and how was your day in school, or no conversations at all.
And if they are having those conversations, you don't share them because you know you're not going to cultivate their responses. You're not going to say, okay, well, if you on camera and somebody say, well, look, I always wanted to play the piano. You know what I'm saying? And then she, trying to put on for internet, they might say, okay, well, she might say, well, let's get you piano lessons. And then now she got to stick to it, right? Because you don't put it out there and everybody heard you say it. So you won't put stuff out there that you're not going to follow through on. And I think that's why she don't let the kids do a lot of talking, because they would expose her naturally. Not even, maybe in some cases trying to, maybe sometimes they would try to slip in there and say something. Like Isaiah did about them degrees. When he was saying, I was born in such and such a year or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That, he was just by being honest and talking, they will expose her.
Exactly.
And that's what's sad.
It's not one of those things we pick to expose mama. It's just kids gonna be honest. Kids, you have to teach kids to lie, like she tried to do when it was in that car. You could tell that little boy was rehearsed in what he was saying. When she was talking about tell what you did, that was a rehearsed speech. They went over that before she hit the live button. And I'm like, she's teaching the kids to lie now.
Yep. And it's like, and were you taught to lie? Like, did Walt have you lying? I mean, where did you pick up? Where did you learn to lie like this? What happened?
It had to be. I want to say, I pretty much think she got her dad's trait.
But then they say her mother, rest her soul, respectfully, they say her mother was a pistol.
Who?
A pistol, meaning that she would pop off and, she was something,
Oh, okay. No,
as having like a fiery, personality or whatever.
So that's where she get that from. Because she tries to act like she's a one as well.
But then scared to death at the same time.
Exactly. I'm like, it be the ones that come out here talking with the biggest voices, the biggest platforms, be acting like they about it, and be the scariest one. I don't get it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like this new journey, this cartoon journey that she's on now, it's like, I got to do something because I got to have some kind of money to come in here.
Yeah.
But like you were just saying, what made me hop up here is when you were talking about the lack of creativity of who you are. Because there's
Yeah.
so many things I would love to be doing instead of what I'm doing. Like I'm
Hmm.
passionate about all kind of stuff that I would love to be doing, but I'm not in a position to just up and do those things because I do have a full-time job. I do have a great responsibility at my job. And so everything else has to kind of come after that because that's what takes care of me. But she's in a position where her schedule is fluid. Like you can get on and offline whenever you want to. In between those times, you could be working on all type of different plans and putting things in place. They don't have to. You don't have to come out and tell nobody until it's ready.
Exactly.
You
That's
just bust out with your stuff.
yeah. Now, Snooki said Mosky asked if she could do gymnastics, but she was turned away by telling her if she had gymnastics money. But yet she continues to spend her money on that loser. Exactly. So her dad gives her, pays child support, and the money should be able to come out the child support money. If she wants to do gymnastics, that should come out of that $1,500 a month. I saw a judge when I was doing research on the one I did about child support say that it is not the father, one father. If you have multiple fathers, it's not one father's place to pay your rent.
Mm-hmm.
What money should not be to pay your light bill. Child support money should be spent on the child. So if gymnastics is what she wants, she should be able to get it because her dad pays child support for her to be able to get
Yes. Or
it.
if she felt like whatever expenses she's already doing or have pertaining to her or anything, the more appropriate response would have been, okay, well let me talk to your dad about it
I
and
was
let's
just
see.
gonna say that
You
exactly.
know, if
If
instead of
she
you don't have to, I don't have the money, your daddy better pay for it. The translation of that is, okay, well let me talk to your dad and let's see what we can do. Okay.
Mhm.
Period. You got
Yep,
all the time in the world to take her. You don't do nothing else but lay around and watch all of us nobodies, according to her.
exactly. But
So,
for
mm-hmm,
us to be nobody, she sure be watching.
mm-hmm,
I'm worried about I got what 9,000 9,300 followers. Everybody, all of us together don't have 100,000 followers, but you worried about us and you got 3 million. You worried
mm-hmm.
about smaller platforms. I seen her on a person with 300,000 subscribers. She said moms of work. Like, yes, that's making her relevant because these big names are speaking on her. But why are you worried about us small content creators? We don't have a far enough reach. The stuff that you're doing, everybody's seeing it.
Mm-hmm. That's an excellent point.
Yeah,
We don't
she
have we
has
don't have a far enough reach. But listen,
exactly,
but that's why she can't stand the certain of, like I say, she don't come at average at, I'm sorry, I mean to be saying names on here, but there's other content creators that do excuse me, report on her and they say the same things that we say. But because she see Latruth, and I think I mentioned this before, like he acknowledges a certain content creators. So
yeah,
because she feel like he's in relationship with them, those are the people that she focus on. But you got a bunch of other channels that do focus on her and on TikTok and stuff like that. So,
exactly.
but you don't bother them because you don't see Robert over there.
When I tell you TikTok be laying her a new one,
Yes,
it's
they
so
do.
many. She stay over there, but I don't see her talking about I'm gonna report them to TikTok because she knows it's no use. They're not gonna do anything. She comes to YouTube and concentrate on a handful so her supporters would know who to target.
Hmm.
That's why she does that.
And then to come on here and where you got allegedly 3.3 million organic followers
Yeah,
and say, well, I don't even come on here. Y'all still don't even be on here. I don't come on here no more because they don't even be paying like that. But what about the people that patronize you, been following you, and they actually care about you and want to see what you're
exactly.
doing? And you letting them know straight up to their face.
It's a money
I
thing.
don't, yeah, I don't care nothing about what y'all talking about. Unless you're saying something negative, then I'm gonna come for you.
Yep, yep,
I could see if she was doing things, making decisions, and it was really getting her far in life, and then people were judging it. Now that's when you could say, "Oh, they hating" or whatever, you know. But I guess for her, far in life is I don't have to work a regular job. Um, you know, I mean, I guess that's her far in life for her. I don't know, but she really feel like she have arrived, but how if you having all these problems?
Exactly.
So,
I look at a lot of the other CCs. I look at a lot of the other people on YouTube. She's not the only one that's being talked about, but you don't see them making lives going in on CCs that's talking about them because they really doing their thing. They really going out there and they making it. You know what I'm saying? They making their content. They concentrating they hustle. But she don't have no hustle worth nothing. So her hustle is looking up what we doing and trying to prove us wrong,
yep, period.
trying to prove
Yep.
everybody wrong. We
And then
said,
my thing is, but how? Okay, then what though?
I don't know. We're saying that she is. Some people done paid to see them twins for that private group, and now her thing is, well, I'll show them in cartoon. I'll come and I'll let them see the twins, but they're gonna be in cartoon because we were calling her a scammer. But I really don't want to see the twins because I don't have to take care of them. That's her wagon.
Yeah,
She did all that behind the scenes to get pregnant and have a baby from that man. I wouldn't care, but as her supporters that poured into her and bought baby clothes and the internet
hmm,
that did all that, she owes it to them. I could care less what they look like because I don't support her. The only way that I see the other ones because she put them out there. But
yep,
as her supporters that she promised that she was going to do this for, that's why I speak on it. So like I said, I wouldn't care to see the twins because I don't support her like that.
right. And I actually feel very sorry for the twins. So, I do. I feel sorry for all of her children, and I have, been a friend to and witnessed and watched. I don't have my own biological children. I am a godmother,
Hmm.
but I have helped raise children all my life. And I'm like, and I have some friends that have, multiple children like that, 5, 6, 7 kids. And, you know, seemingly not very, sometimes some of them not very maternal. You're not very maternal, but if you're not maternal and you don't enjoy parenting, why have so many children? Because now whatever you do have has to be spread out amongst all these different little lives. And when my parents always was like, you represent me. You
Hmm.
didn't go nowhere looking no kind of way. Like when she was saying about, well, these teenagers nowadays, they don't care if they just look like this. My mama wouldn't have cared if I just wanted to look like that. I wouldn't have been allowed to.
I wouldn't have either.
I wouldn't
My
have been allowed to. Me and my baby sister was talking earlier today, my two, about a different situation. And I said, these people, nowadays raising these kids, they talking about, well, they have feelings too and let them have a voice and stuff when you kids. I said, and to a certain extent that is true, but I grew up in an era where you were told how to feel.
I
Nobody
know
asking you about how you feel. This how you feel about it. This what you're doing.
exactly. With my mom, she was very stylish. So she only had two kids, me and my brother. So when she went out, she would tell us to get dressed. If we came out and we were looking like it wasn't matching her fly, she make us go back in there and change them clothes. I'm not going to be said having them people say
Uh-huh.
I'm dressed up and then I got my children looking any kind of way. She didn't play that, and she didn't play that with me with mine. When I
Mm-hmm.
got grown, I when I got grown, I got more relaxed. Now I put on a pair of baggy pants and a raggedy t-shirt and come out the house to go to the store or go to her house. And she was like, I know you didn't come out the house looking like that. But I'm like, I'm grown now. I don't have to, you made me
Yeah.
iron everything before I left the house. I relaxed on that when I got grown. But as long as I was under her house and she was over me and she made sure that she was not talked about because if her hair was done, my hair was done. If she had on nice shoes, we had on nice shoes. When those shoes get worn out, she's taking us to get shoes. My brother
Mm-hmm.
got a haircut every week. If I did not have my hair like done, she would take me to my aunt and let her braid it. That's just
Mm-hmm.
we were not she couldn't do hair. So she would take me to my aunt's house and let them braid until I started doing my own. But she just didn't play that, and that's most mothers. Some
Mm-hmm.
mothers would rather see their kids be fly than them. They were like,
Yes.
I'd rather struggle for my kids to look nice, and I look. If anybody gonna look raggedy, it's gonna be me. But my
Mm-hmm.
kids gonna look fly.
And anybody will respect that. They might say she be looking crazy, but you know what? Her kids be together. They, I
Yep.
mean, and I don't know why she don't understand how that translates even beyond um the opinions of her as a mother. It's like, what about their self-esteem? You know, they got to, they walking around with winter hats on in the summertime, and every 3 days you getting your hair done. Why aren't you seeking out collaborations with, like, where she has said before that, like, she, get her hair done for free and then she do the promo for them. So they'll do it for free so she can promo. Why don't you do that with some barbers?
Uh-huh.
Okay? Because you're so
Yep.
focused on you. So why
Yep.
don't you apply the same strategy for you with your children? I'd be like, when I go get my hair done, I'm like, okay, well, I'll do it, but I also want my kids' hair done. So how, can I get a discount or anything like that for the promo? They come with the deal.
Yeah.
They should
So
come with the deal.
exactly. Snooky said, y'all see the boys had their haircut? She listening because Auntie P told her a new one. She's listening to y'all trust. We know it. Each one of us can say once we see something, whatever we mentioned in the video, we'll see her go and we'll see her try to do it. Like when another content creator was on this side, she used to always say, "We never see you cooking for the kids. We never see you doing all of this." The next thing you know, she making videos of her cooking for the kids. So she does look, and she does. That's why I say she be trying to prove a point to us, because I believe she does watch us. They never give her any constructive criticism to make her want to do better. They never do any of that. And they see that it bothers her because she goes and she tries to do it, which means it's like we her unofficial supporters, because she actually
Uh-huh.
do stuff to try to prove to us, yes, I am worthy. Yes, I do this for my kids. Yes, I do
Yes.
take my kids at a haircut. And if they would do that, we wouldn't have nothing to talk about.
I said on one of my lives, I said we support Brianna more than her alleged supporters do, by being
Exactly.
honest with her and giving her good advice. Now I know she don't want to hear like the criticism, and I know the last time I was on your panel, I did call her a Bigfoot fool. I did. I did, and that was wrong. It was wrong.
Yep.
I ain't gonna say it ain't true, but it was probably wrong for me to say. So I apologize, but it's just you know, like I said, when you keep seeing a woman crash and burn every day, and then you don't, because you can take good advice, and you don't have to come on here and say, "Oh, I heard my 2 cents saying this and that." But be consistent with whatever you do. You know, the consistency with her children. Kids are very smart and resilient. They be peeping all kinds of stuff, and you think just because you're the parent and you telling them where to go, what to do at all times, that they don't have their own thoughts. And I feel like she doesn't see that. And I really think that it's really damaging those children for their future. I don't think, because even when I, you know, ran the streets and did what I did in my 20s, I came from when I'm more than suburban home. I have no business, okay, being in nobody's hood, nobody's running around doing nothing, because it's not what I knew, but it's where I wanted to be. It was where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in the hood. I wanted to be where it was real. And my sisters couldn't understand that. They like, man, we out here living the good life. What are you doing? And I'm like, but I like to get, it's real in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I wanted to be. And so, but I still always kept my grades up really high. My
Hmm.
parents didn't play that. I still had a job at 16,
Hmm.
and my parents had plenty of money, but I wanted to have a job. I wanted the other kids had a job. I wanted a job. I wanted to have my own money, and so, and that was because of how I was being raised. I didn't sit there and say, well, I ain't here. I got jobs. Huh? I don't have to get one because my parents give me everything, which they did. I still had the desire to work. I was being developed as a child. My parents
Hmm.
didn't say you can't work. My dad just said, listen, you going skating and all of that, I'll pay you movies, we got it. But
Hmm.
if you're gonna have a job, your grades, you can't get nothing under a B. A C was not acceptable in my house.
Hmm.
So if you're gonna work, you better keep them grades up, because the minute your grades slip, you can't work.
That's how I was too. I did not play about school, and y'all gonna go. Y'all don't have nothing else to do. but go to school and keep your grades up. You're not working. You don't no game until you do your homework. And if they got them report cards and them grades went up the par, those game systems going in my room for the whole 6 weeks till you get another report card.
Mm-hmm. And that was it. I was incentivized by that, knowing that, okay, I'm not being limited. I can go get a job too. My parents didn't limit me, but they had conditions. If you're gonna do it, you better keep them grades up, you know. And I kept my grades up because that was non-negotiable in my house. You had to keep your grades up, period. And then by doing it, I get to work. So to me, I was in a win-win situation. But and I carried that work ethic through my life. I've been in a corporate environment. I've had a professional job since I was 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I knew to have money, I had to work. I didn't never feel like, I'm like, well, how do you have money if you ain't got no job? Like, I watched my parents go to work every day all my life. So I didn't have a household where people didn't work and, everybody was waiting on a check and stuff like that. And, everybody do what they got to do, but I didn't come from that. So I'm like, what happened that to her and her upbringing where lying like this? But like we said, it's been, well, she said it herself that her dad be lying all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently you learned that from him. And maybe that's why y'all get along so well, because y'all both just alike.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all both be lying.
They are just alike. And like the incident where she said, I guess the dad, she claimed, I think she threw her dad under the bus, but where she claimed her dad told her that Latruth said that he was going to do something to her, the kids and himself. I'm not going to say what it is, but if y'all been following this, y'all remember. She threw her dad under the bus for this, and she said that my dad really be lying. My dad be he a big liar, or she was throwing him under the bus.
Yeah.
And he was like, I didn't know that he lied like that.
Yep. I mean, and about something so serious,
Yep.
And it's like, so, and no matter where you got it from and why you're doing it, understand the consequences of you doing it. Like, if you don't want to go back and figure out how you got to be this way, just know today, when I do this, this is what happens, and it doesn't work in my favor. I probably shouldn't do that anymore.
Yep.
I probably shouldn't say that anymore.
And then people think we be hating on her. That's not hating on her. As a Black young lady, I want better for her than she want for herself.
Mm-hmm.
What I wish she would do, come forward, admit that she lied on this man so everybody can move past it and she can grow, get healing, and she can grow and be productive to her kids and for herself and her kids.
Yeah.
That's what I want for her, and they should want that for her too. But as long as she's not out here and she's not admitting her wrong, she's never gonna grow. She's always gonna be this little toxic individual with the temporary happiness that the happiness that she has is not permanent because it was not built on solid foundation. So it's not gonna go anywhere. She got into this relationship with this man because she was hurt and he was a rebound. The reason that she didn't learn anything from jumping out of one relationship with Deshaun, going right into a relationship with Robert, it didn't work out. It lingered. She didn't learn anything from that.
She didn't heal. She didn't learn anything.
Exactly.
And then she didn't recognize the difference. Like, I feel like she protects Sleepy. I always used to say, well, I think she never got over him.
Exactly.
But then sometimes I'm like, well, maybe it's that or he was the real abuser. So you're still afraid of him. Right. So you lie and say he's this and that and the other, and he's doing, because you really are afraid of him because he really did hurt you. So I got that revelation more just recently, and I'm sure other people may have thought that already, but my initial thought was she never got over him. She's still low-key in love with Sleepy. Because why do you keep praising this man? And then now I'm like, well, maybe you just scared of him because he really did do you. Like you say, like you lied and said Latruth did. And then when she got with Latruth and she thought he wasn't a violent man like that, she took out everything she didn't do with Sleepy to defend herself. She did it to Latruth. A
Exactly.
place where she could do it without getting her butt whooped.
Exactly. And then another thing with Latruth's situation, I feel like she did come to care about him, and the reason that she's still hating him because he dumped her, and she's not over him. That's why she's not moving on and letting bygones be bygones and trying to create a healthy co-parenting relationship like she's done with Deshaun. So I think it goes either or. But I'm thinking that the reason that she is still hating on Latruth like she does and making his life hell is because she hadn't gotten over him. She brought all of that into her new relationship when she should have been healing. That's why I say I don't think that she learned anything from with Sleepy. And out of the two, I think she loves Sleepy the most because she was able to go back and mend whatever differences they had and co-parent. But with the truth, the hate that she has is not natural, especially when you're all happy and in a whole new relationship. If you was in a relationship with Ja, why are you shading this season calling her grandma? I don't mind
Right.
because my child gained a new grandma. Why are you shading her if you were over the truth?
Yep. And especially not like, you saying the whole time your marriage wasn't about nothing. You ain't like, we were really good into this last year or two. You saying like from day one it was hell.
Exactly. And
When
she
we
forgot.
when all their content proves that's not true.
That's not true. And then she forgot that the internet is undefeated. Everything that you say is something out there to prove differently. You praise this man. You say he did not help you build your platform. You hired this marketing thing off Facebook to help you do it. But when we go back, before you got with him, your numbers were low. Once he started telling people to follow you, that's when your standings got up. So we know that he helped you build it, but you don't want to give him no credit for it. But
Mm-hmm.
you want to act like Janelle has come in and did the most for her. We would not know who this girl is had it not been for Latruth. So to try to take that away from him, we we know better. They can fall for that and they can go for them lies that she tell, but didn't nobody know who Brianna Battle was until Latruth introduced her to social media and his supporters. That's how she became a social media influencer with all these people behind her because of him. But for her to not even acknowledge what
Mm-hmm.
he did for her, except in the beginning when everything was okay with them, when everything was okay with them, she said, um, when everything was okay with them, she said that he taught her everything. He wanted her to start working at Best Buy. He taught her everything she know. But once everything ended, now you don't want to give him his accolades and you want to act like Ja is the best thing since sliced bread. He's putting you in spaces you've never been before. Well, the space you in saying that, LaTruth gave it to you.
When she came and came down there with them three kids to move in with him, you were in a space you had never been before.
Exactly.
You were in a nice big home with a provider, a protector, a man who was parenting your children. So that was somewhere you had never been before, and you didn't have enough respect for it. I think that, if LaTruth was really a monster behind closed doors and we all missed it, then why you should have been left. And I know people do stay in situations longer than they should, and I'm not trying to be critical of that.
Truth there, your mic went out again. My mom always taught me, y'all. My mother always taught me
Because they're
to,
like, hmm,
my mother always taught me to don't bite to not bite the hands that feed you. So if anybody put me in that situation,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make it publicly known. I'm gonna shout it to the rooftop. I am where I am because of this person. I would not try to take away nothing that nobody's ever done for me, because you never know. Like my mother used to say, "Oh, it's a country saying." I'm from the country. They say that a cow would need its tail more than one summer to fan the gnats from around his, you know what, his ass. And with that being said, she never know when she may need him again. When all of this died down, she never know when she may need him again. And I hope that he doesn't let her use him again, because he seems to have a good heart, and I believe in everything he would still help her again. I just believe he just has that type of heart.
Right. Which, can be a blessing and a curse having that kind of heart.
Yeah,
Because even though you're doing the right thing by when you're just choosing to be helpful and all of that, are you them by from themselves?
yep,
And I think that's the problem. Like, she's always this damsel in distress, but and readily accepts the help, the handout, the gift, whatever. It ain't even that it's not true. She just don't want to hear it. Now everything that you previously acknowledged and said was great and of value and a blessing. Now it's everything is the opposite of. So where is
everything.
your discernment? Hmm?
I said everything. I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah, everything. Like no matter what somebody would say about the truth, I'm trying to get out of this. I hope I don't go through this dead spot right here with my connection. Um, but every time somebody would say something about him positive, when the saga was first starting, she had an opposing something to say about every little thing. Well, dang. So you was wrong about everything. You didn't see nothing correctly when it came to him, huh? I mean, if all of this is true now, why you didn't peep it? Why are you legally being forced out the marriage? You know?
Exactly.
So, I mean, come on now. Why are you trying to keep this man's name? You want the name of your alleged abuser? Why? You should be trying to get rid of that name.
Hmm.
So, nothing I'm telling y'all, that woman has multiple personalities, period, in the story. That's why she seems so lucid all the time. She talks so matter of factly about something that we know you come out here and said the exact opposite of. And to do it and look right in that camera and do that, you got to be somebody else from the person before.
Yep.
I can't. I mean, how else would that happen?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it either. She said if it weren't for our age, nobody would have known her at all, and she is running around here as if she does think she's a celebrity, especially because she got those little two minor roles in movies. I two extras in a movie, one extra. She had a line in one, a line. Did y'all see the movie that she did with about the social media influencer? You would have thought she had a major part. And then her man, I watched one of his movies with the girl when she had what's the girl name? Erica, and it was a decent movie. You could tell it was not a like major motion picture, but it was a decent movie. It was on Netflix, and I actually paid to watch it because actually liked his co-star. I like to watch her movies, and he had a 15, 10-minute role at the most. And you would think he had a major role the way he was promoting it. So every movie that I've seen that he's played in, he's not been a main character. And get the longest part that he's played was a Wu Tang. All the other movies that you see him in, he don't make it out of the season or a couple of episodes. So he's definitely a D-list actor because he's not getting any major roles. He's just getting a lot
Yeah,
of roles. And I think that's why she's putting up with him, because she's thinking that he's gonna get his big break. And I just don't see it. Nothing. stands out about him as an actor that would hit the big screen. He's not a Denzel. He's not a Jamie.
Well, and why aren't you trying to be your right? And why
Um,
are you not trying to be your own big break? I thought she was Big Bree. What about your big
exactly,
break? Forget his big break,
exactly,
because you're
exactly,
not married to the man. He didn't even acknowledge you. You had his first children, twins. He didn't even acknowledge you by name for Mother's
exactly.
Day.
He did a vague Happy
I'm
Mother's Day. Even remember when Latruth they were together, and when it was Mother's Day, he had this little big skit where the children sang to her, "Mama, you know I love you." That song, what's Mama, Boys the Men. He had them do the skit. They were singing Boys the Men. He went all out for her on Mother's Day, gave her the gifts. He couldn't even do nothing special for her on Mother's Day, and these were his first kids. And he just, I don't know, this man right here is concerned about himself. He's not into her like that. I think he respects her as being the baby mama, and that's all she is to him, his baby's mom. I don't think that it's gonna be no diehard, we're gonna get married relationship. I don't care how much she put on my beginnings, he did good. I don't think that man is gonna marry her. I'm sorry, I just don't. I can be wrong. I
sorry.
can.
I'm driving. I'm out in the country, so I think I hit some dead spots.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't
Yeah.
even know where it cut me off at, but I'm sure you get the drift.
Yep.
Yep.
But I
But
was
I was
saying
saying
about
about
yeah, yeah. Can you hear
can you
me?
hear me? Oh my gosh.
Lord.
Lord. Hold on, Matu. Let me get past this little stretch right quick. I'll just try to listen to you till I get past this little way.
Okay, I
Okay,
got
I
it.
got it.
Listen. Can y'all
Can
hear
y'all
me?
hear me?
I got an echo. Am I echoing y'all? Okay, I'm not. Yeah, but I was saying I don't. Am I still echoing? No, he's not. It's a different. You can tell when a person is in love. You can tell when a person is in love, and that does. Okay, thank you. You can tell when a person is in love, and I just don't see that. You don't see that when he look at her. You don't see that when he interacts with her. You just don't see that. Um, when a person loves a person, it's just the way they look at them. It's the way they are when I don't know. I just don't feel them vibe. And most of the time, we are not wrong when it comes to her and him. Whatever we be saying, it comes back in the end. She comes and confirm it. It's just been a while since she's done it. This time, since the twins have been born, I think that she's trying, or they're trying overboard to make it seem like they legit. But I'm not buying it. I'm sorry, not buying it at all. Yeah, I'm gonna see if Truth Slayer has anything else to say. If she doesn't, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. Let somebody else go live.
Yeah, I'm still driving. I don't want to be dropping down and coming back because I'm trying to get out this countryside. But no, I think another day, another mystery.
Yeah. And y'all, I don't know how the live ended up about Brianna. It was supposed to be about her supporters and their mentality. But when you're talking about that, they stemming from what she put out there. So all the conversations goes back to her because she is the root of the problem. What they say, cut the head off the snake, then the rest of it will die.
Mm-hmm.
If she would come and cut the head off of this whole thing, then it'll go away. But because she's not doing that, we're gonna stay stuck in this.
Yep. And I know people feel like we should just be quiet and not have anything to say about her, what she's doing, but it's like she's still putting it out there.
Exactly. Exactly. She's
So
still putting she putting us in her business. That's like Peach and all these what's the name? The got Shamar, Peach, um,
Krishan Rock, any of them.
uh-huh. They live their life on the internet. They are subject to be talked about or blogged on because they public figures at that point.
Yep. And the fact that that point right there is still not being received by who needs to receive it is crazy.
It
Like,
is very crazy. They want to talk about we are not public figures. We're bloggers. We're not putting our everyday lives out there. Not one of us have turned that camera on and shared our lives with these people for them to break down. We just talking about what other people do. We are what we call bloggers or CCs, content creators, but we are not influencers. That's the difference. So when you all go and have to dig, like if we wanted you all in our personal lives, we would put turn the camera on and share our day to day. Blogging is a
mm-hmm,
job. Content creating, you choose what you're gonna share. You make a conscious decision. I'm gonna share my life with these people. I'm gonna let them know
yep,
the inner and outer workings of my life. Bloggers, it's a job. And what bloggers do, they turn around and they blog on popular social media or content creators.
mm-hmm,
But they it's like they don't get it. We're not if we were like I say, we coming out like your truth slayer. I'm my 2 cents. If they go through the extra measures of finding out who people are and it's not known to the public, then you made that person known to the public. And when they start getting harassed, you broke the law because you did it for malicious intent. And by you doing it for malicious intent, and the person starts getting harassed, if you go to the right state, you've broken the law. If you get in front of
mm-hmm,
the right judge, you've broken the law. And you got
mm-hmm.
some people that will not stop until they get in front of the right judge to stop you from
Yep,
doing stuff like this. And it's gonna be stopped one way or the other because it's going on too long. People think because one judge throw out this one and another judge might not, they're gonna be stopped either way because certain states are like where I'm from, they don't play about it. Where I'm from,
mm-hmm,
where I'm from, I've seen so many like this guy named Boss Tootie. Um, he's from where I'm from. He was a big social media influencer back in the day. He was coming on the internet, doxing people and all that wasn't even had nothing, didn't even have social media account. He ended up doing 2 years in prison because he was just putting innocent people information out there, making them like cause harms. He was the gay guy, right? And
mm-hmm.
it was a lot of under like down low people, and he was like taking them and filming them, putting them on the internet and exposing them, putting their addresses out. And then people started getting harassed and they started getting threatened because you're supposed to be straight. So he had a lot of people coming for them. They went to
Mm-hmm.
court. They went to court and told them that this man put their information out, and they had threats coming in. So when they had so many people to come in on him and say that he was doing this, he ended up going to not only did somebody shoot up his house, he had to move out of the city, but he ended up going to court and getting 2 years prison. He didn't do the full 2 years, but who wants to go to prison or go to jail behind social media stuff?
And what did you really gain? You know, I used to say back when I used to run around in the streets and, you know, somebody get in trouble and he was somebody that was getting all this money and everything out in the streets. But then they turn around and get in trouble. You ought to
Mhm,
have lawyer money put up and money for the family put up because you know you're putting yourself at risk out here doing this. You're
mhm,
getting too much money to not be smart and put money in certain places that if you do get caught, that everybody ain't trying to scramble to find you a lawyer and now you mad because everybody can't get you a lawyer or
mhm,
you know, the family suffering because they was living off of your street money and you didn't make no provision for like you still, you know, you came like Brie, you came across too much money to be broke now. And I know
Mm-hmm.
she did say, like, well, I know I messed over a lot of money and I'm learning or whatever. It shouldn't even have been about learning. Not at the rate of money that she was getting.
I know.
There should not have been a lesson this deep. It wasn't that difficult to comprehend that you should have more and than what you have now if you had 400 and some $1,000 at any point when you got
Mm-hmm.
children out here that you got to take care of. Like, just say admit you a fool and let's move on. Like, I'm sick of it.
But you know
She
what?
doesn't have any humility.
You know what happens? They come out here and they try to live like they try to act like you can tell people that are not used to nothing. She says she lived a soft life. She was spoiled. She got whatever she wanted. But at leaving home at a young age, that means at some point you started struggling because you're living on a man. So that soft
Mm-hmm.
life you try to act like you had wasn't that soft because you were not at home um, the later part of your teenage years. So when people are not used to nothing, not used to having, they come on the internet to try to validate themselves by proving that they're more than they are, or try to
Mm-hmm.
prove that they like she was saying, I'm Big Bree. I'm Big Bree. So in order to be Big Bree, I gotta put money into his persona to make them see, okay, I'm gonna drive the Mercedes, I'm gonna live in a mansion, I'm gonna change clothes and keep my hair done. Living up to this persona, wasting a lot of money
Yep.
in order to impress people that she don't know. In order to impress people that they don't know, they try to live above their means, whether they don't realize this money comes and goes, is temporary. Until you get to the big numbers, the bigger numbers, this is temporary. Your platform may not make it past the number of people you got now, and your money may go up and down. And then you may have a platform that grows on to be 100, 200, 300, 400,000. But as long as it's small, it's temporary. And with her, the way she's running her brand is temporary because of who she's attached herself to. The brand the brand is gone, and so by the brand being gone, um, now you're doing any and everything, and it's still you're still trying to impress people by pretending to be something that you're not, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what her supporters, a lot of the supporters do. Like we had one out there talking about she living a soft girl life, and they try to impress people that they don't know, trying to make themselves appear to be more. And then they love to talk about what somebody have. What does what a person have to do with where you are as a person? Material things come and go, but your character stays with you a long time, forever. So
Yep.
it don't matter if I live in a cardboard box. My character means more to me in a cardboard box than being an idiot and being evil in a mansion.
Absolutely. And to not know the difference between the two, I think what Nene just typed, well, I know you were gonna wrap up
Hmm.
if I didn't have anything to share, but what Nene just said was, I love it. And we can go out on that note if you're ready. She said, I think Ja is just with BB because she is now the roommate who pays the bills and baby mama that is convenient for him when he's in town, and that's it. I agree with that 100%.
And I agree as well. I agree
You
as
know,
well.
he come home, he got in-house cat,
Yep, 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 yep.
the kids right there, you contributing to the household financially. I
Yeah,
mean, hey, and when I'm gone, I do whatever I'm doing, and you can't do really much while I'm gone because you got to take care of my twins.
exactly. It's the convenience of it all. It's not because I
Hmm.
want to and I don't want nobody else to have it. It's just the convenience. But y'all, thank you all for being in here. And my Deuce said she didn't realize that she was just started making that kind of dollars and didn't have time to see how stable it was. Didn't do it exactly. Oh, my Deuce, you know,
Hmm.
my Deuce,
My
you
Deuce
know,
be coming through, don't she?
she does be coming through with them comments. My Deuce, she said she got an RIA now. You remember that when she was trying to talk about she invested her money, she got an RIA. That lets you know she wasn't investing because it's R. She
Mhm.
got me saying R. It's
IRA.
IRA. It's not an RIA. Anybody that invests their money know they're investing it into an IRA. She didn't even know what it was. She just heard it
And
before, couldn't say it
Michael,
now.
you couldn't even say it wrong. You was trying to say it right so bad.
Yeah,
You couldn't
yep,
even say it wrong. You was like I mean I because it is IRA. You was like I can't even say it wrong. Shoot, she talking about an
yeah. It
RIA.
is an IRA. I know that word like girl. I have so many people
Mm-mm.
calling to get out of their 401ks to roll it over into an IRA. I hear that word so much every day. And when she said
Yes.
RIA, I'm like, what?
She need to do something else. I don't know what it could be. I said I thought when she had a little more money, I thought maybe she could have started flipping some houses or doing something that don't require her to be on here. But now it's like she don't have the money, so it's like I don't know what she gonna do. Well, we gonna
Yep,
leave her to God to figure it out, but we gonna talk about it. Okay,
yep,
we gonna
exactly.
talk about it. So thank you for having me up, and hello everybody in the chat. If I didn't speak to you and missed you speaking, love all you guys. Appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next one.
All righty. You get to where you're going safe now. Thank you, Latay, for the super sticker. Thank you, Protect Your Peace for the super sticker. Thank you, TT, for the super sticker. Thank you, Ma Deuce, for the super sticker. Again, thank you, Candy Kisses, for the super sticker. I appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you all later in the week. Bye.